Hi there, it's Miss Tiffany from the Butler Area Public Library, and I am back to talk about another book. This book that we are talking about today is the July selection for the Tween and Teen Ideal Book Club. IDEAL, IDEAL, stands for Inclusivity, Diversity, Equity, and Accessibility in Libraries. July is Disability Pride Month, and so the July Tween Teen Ideal book talks about disability. The book we're talking about today is A Chance to Fly. It's a heartfelt middle grades novel about a theater loving girl who uses a wheelchair for mobility and her quest to defy expectations and gravity from the Tony Award winning actress Ali Stroker and Stacy Davidovitz. Let's listen to the summary. 13-year-old Nat Beacon loves a lot of things: her dog, Warbucks, her best friend, Chloe, and competing on her wheelchair racing team, the Zoomers, to name a few. But there's one thing she's absolutely obsessed with: musicals. From Hamilton to Les Mis, there's not a cast album she hasn't memorized and belted along to. She's never actually been in a musical, though, or even seen an actor who uses a wheelchair for mobility on stage. Would someone like Nat ever get cast? But when Nat's family moves from California to New Jersey, Nat stumbles upon auditions for a kids' production of Wicked, one of her favorite musicals ever, and she gets into the ensemble. The other cast members are super cool and inclusive, well, most of them, especially Malik, the male lead and cutest boy Nat's ever seen. But when things go awry a week before opening night, will Nat be able to cast her fears and insecurities aside and defy gravity in every sense of the song title? So I'm not gonna lie, this juvenile fiction book took me a little bit to get into, but once I got in there and I gave it a chance, I really liked it, and there's a lot of reasons why. As you may have guessed from our summary, this book talks a lot about Broadway musicals, which is something that I love. There's a lot of references to musical shows, and the entire plot revolves around this group of kids being in a musical, including our lead character, Nat, who is a wheelchair user. Now, these middle schoolers, they have big dreams. They have all of the awkwardness that goes along with being a middle schooler. But for Nat, her dreams are a little restricted because of a lack of accessibility for disabled people. And that awkwardness is compounded by being a wheelchair user and not always having the same opportunities that kids who are not wheelchair users might get. Nat loves the theater, and I really love the fact that this book was written by someone else who loves the theater and is a wheelchair user herself, and that is Ali Stroker. Ali Stroker is notable because she was the first wheelchair user to get a Tony Award for being in a Broadway musical. So she wrote this book and lived this life dream to be a representation of what she needed to see as a kid. Allie talks very openly about the fact that she never saw other kids in wheelchairs being cast in musicals or theater productions, and so it was a little bit harder for her, and now she is bringing that to life in this book. I thought it was a really honest discussion of what kids in wheelchairs or using other mobility aids or with any kind of disability really encounter when they're going through all of that awkwardness of middle school and they're making new friends. In this book, Nat has a big move, and so she's got to make new friends. But I also thought it was just a great story in general about chasing your dreams, and I really love that it was a shout out to the theater kids who have a very niche interest. If you are interested in reading A Chance to Fly, you can find it on Hoopla. And if you have read A Chance to Fly and would like to read more books like it, I highly recommend Wink by Rob Harrell, Turtle Boy by M. Evan Wolkenstein, The Miscalculations of Lightning Girl by Stacey McNulty, and Squint by Chad Morris and Shelley Brown. I really hope you will give some of these books a chance, and I also hope that you will consider signing your tween or teen up for the Ideal Book Club. You can find more information about it at the Butler Library website, that's butlerlibrary.info, or you can register for it in Beanstack at butlerlibrary.beanstack.org. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.